Hey, I'm Kate, and welcome back or welcome to another edition from News from the Nest. Today we've got some great packages for you.
That's right, Cameron. We've got info on the local food pantry, competitive cheerleading, and the importance of good sleep. Let's get started. You've probably seen places like school or the church host food drives to the local food pantry. But what's the importance of resources like these, and how do they work? Where's our local food pantry? Here with some food for thought is reporter Caitlin Grimaldi.
People take for granted the small things in life. Occasionally, unfortunate circumstances cause people to be without the time or money to provide for food. Although it's heartbreaking they have to go through these things, the Denville community is lucky to have resources like the Denville Food Pantry to help them in times of need. Stephen Dubronica has been working at the Denville Food Pantry for 7.5 years, after his wife saw a Help Wanted article in the paper. He had recently just retired from working in the restaurant and hospital field and was looking for something new.
And she said, look, there's an ad that says somebody to help run the food pantry. You've been in the restaurant business, you've worked in mental health. That's right up your alley.
Every month, he is able to support 50 to 60 clients with food and housing accommodations. The food pantry team are always looking for volunteers to make their organization possible.
There is an age limit to working inside the pantry here during the week. That's for confidentiality reasons and security, so we ask that our volunteers be older than 18.
Although the age restriction for working at the pantry is 18, you can always help by donating food, hygiene products, and cleaning products. In winter, shoveling driveways, mowing lawns in the summer, adopting a family during holidays, or even with financial aid. Although the food bank takes all the food they can get, make sure you check out the expiration date before giving it to them. Any food not covered by food stamps is always in need.
Diapers, feminine hygiene products, toothbrushes, toothpaste, paper towels, napkins, dishwasher detergent, laundry detergent.
Non-perishable items are usually donated by schools, churches, businesses, service organizations, and individuals who are doing their part. Perishable foods are usually stocked from money given to the organization. Adults can donate money through checks given to Denville Social Services and gift cards. Food and item needs are always being updated on their Facebook page. Everyone has seen how hard life can be. People that can't afford it know it all too well. Even in these rough times, there are people willing to help. This has been Caitlin Grimaldi reporting for News from the Nest.
Thanks, Caitlin. The food pantry is so useful for anyone in need, and I hope that it continues to help many people. Remember, there's no shame in using a resource like the food pantry if you or your family need someone to lift them up.
Speaking of lifting people up, cheerleading is a difficult sport. Those kids have a lot of crazy tumbling and stunts. I don't know how they do it. Here to jumpstart your knowledge is Brianna Colleague and Sydney Kassar.
Competitive cheer is not what you think it is. It's not just sideline cheering with pom-poms.
It takes a lot of hard work, patience, and time. You usually devote 3 days a week to practice. The practices usually go for 2 hours or longer. Each practice, you work on tumbling, stunts, jumps, and motions. You get a 2-minute, 30-second routine that you work on for the whole season and work on perfecting any flaws and make things harder. Tumbling is where you flip around, and that depends on what level you start. It starts with a basic cartwheel and ends with the more challenging things like a double. Stunting is where you hold someone in the air and throw them around. This depends on what level you are. You start with the basic of a knee stunt and end with the more challenging double up. The levels go from 1 to 6.
Competitive cheer isn't for the faint of heart. It can be very dangerous if you don't pay attention or don't know what you're doing. Many people will end up with broken bones or even concussions. You need to be conditioned to get through the routine. For example, doing different drills to advance your skill level and having endurance. You might run or do exercises to get stronger. 90% of cheer is mental toughness and 10% is skill. You need to be mentally tough to get through the routine and be able to make the corrections that are given to you.
The dedication it takes to be a competitive cheerleader is incredible. This has been Brianna and Sydney reporting for News from the Nest.
Thanks, Sydney and Brianna. I never knew so much effort was involved in cheerleading. It sounds like a lot of work. And it's super impressive that they can do it with a smile on their face.
All that cheering must make those girls tired. Feeling tired is a common experience shared by teens across America, and it has many effects you might not know about. Here with more information is reporter Danny McGrath.
If you are like most teenagers, you know you do not get enough sleep at night. But what's the science behind this, and what can you do to manage it?
In adolescence, the body's biological sleep cycle becomes shifted by 2 hours. If as a kid you could easily be asleep by 9, as a teenager it would be hard to fall asleep until around 11. Same goes for waking up in the morning. Many argue that a later school start time would be beneficial and result in a more rested student body. 93% of American high schools start before 8:30 a.m. And in the case of Knolls, we start at 7:30. Being awake and alert at this hour is difficult for most teens. And sleep deprivation does more than just make you feel tired. It can lead to symptoms of depression, poor decision making, weight gain, and worse performance in school. So what can you do to avoid sleep deprivation? Developing and maintaining a regular sleep schedule can help regulate your body and biological rhythm. But it does mean you have to stop sleeping in late on weekends. Another habit you could start is putting away electronics for a while before bed. The artificial light from a phone or computer can negatively affect how quickly you're able to fall asleep. Cutting back on sugar and caffeine is another helpful trick. These stimulating foods are another contributor to poor sleep.
After-school naps have also proven to help teens recharge and feel prepared for the rest of their day. So, when you get home, take a cat nap and see how you feel. This has been Danny McGrath reporting for News from the Nest.
Thanks, Danny. Who would have guessed there was so much science behind sleep? Hopefully, we all take these facts into account and feel more rested in the future. Well, MK, that's our show, and we hope you've enjoyed it.
If you'd like to see more, subscribe to our YouTube page by following the link at the Morris Knolls webpage.
Click the News from the Nest logo and then the bell to be informed of new uploads.
This has been the best from the Nest.